Hello friends, happy Monday. I just finished my workout and you're propped up because I don't think I could hold the phone with my hands if I wanted to. But it's a Monday. It is a holiday, which sometimes that can kind of throw people off because sometimes we like everything to be all perfect in a row, right? Like we're starting on a Monday, it's a new month, it's a fresh intention, all the things. Personally, I like to start on a Monday. So if you are in that kind of in-between place where you're trying to talk yourself out of it because it's a holiday, and you don't want to start on a Tuesday, just start today. You guys, it never has to be perfect. It just needs to be yours, right? 100% hallelujah, yes. And if you watch this on a Tuesday or a Wednesday or a Saturday or a Sunday, you're exactly where you need to be. You never need to wait for tomorrow to begin because it never has to be perfect. This is never all or nothing. I want you to hear me when I say that. It's never all or nothing. I am a recovering all or nothing kind of girl. I still struggle with that because I want it to look a certain way and feel a certain way. But after all these years of doing this, I understand that that is a form of sabotage. That is a form of perfectionism, and it will not serve you on your quest to become a happier, healthier, saner version of you. Okay? So it's all right if you don't have it all figured out. It's okay if you don't have all your fridge completely stocked with all the things. It's all right if you have a vacation or a trip coming up. Like, you do what you can every single day. I am a huge believer in carving out 5 to 10 minutes a day. That's it. Is that going to change your entire life? Over time, yeah, it will compound. And I, as your coach, am more interested in helping you find your self-belief in creating that and then getting the momentum that comes from taking the daily action, not just on the days you feel like it, but on all the days, because all the days matter. And when I say all the days matter, it doesn't mean that if you had a slippery weekend and maybe you rolled around naked with Doritos or whatever, it doesn't mean you've undone all your progress. You only undo all your progress when you continue the cycle that's not serving you. When you quit, when you say, it's not perfect, so I'm not going to do it. That's when you undo your progress. You having a day where you lived your freaking life, or a weekend, or even a week where you lived your freaking life, that doesn't undo anything. You don't have to make up for anything. You don't need to do something different other than begin again. Drink your water, eat your vegetables, move your body, work on your mindset. That's what this is. We overcomplicate it, and it doesn't need to be overcomplicated. It's super freaking simple, and your journey doesn't need to look like my journey. So I was looking through my Facebook memories, and I found this post, and so I wanted to share parts of it because it really resonated with me, and maybe it'll resonate with you. Okay, so basically, I was talking about finishing a program. And it's the start that stops a lot of us. And it's the start that's stopping so many of you. We've talked about it. We've made a plan. I've told you what I think you should do. I come in here and I chat at you. And I know it happens because it used to happen with me too, right? It's the stop. It's the overcomplicating it. It's making it bigger than it needs to be. It doesn't need to be difficult. It just needs to be you taking the daily action. So how do you begin? What do you do? If you want to work on your nutrition and you want to do a program, freaking amazing, that's awesome. But if that makes your head explode and you're like, I literally don't know where I would put all that, then you're gonna pick one and you're gonna focus on that. And you're gonna treat this literally like Legos, like building blocks. Like you're just gonna work on one little thing and you're gonna get that, maybe not mastered, but you're gonna get to a place in your journey where you feel comfortable and you feel excited and you feel proud of the fact that you've been showing up. And then once you have that established, then you layer something else in, okay? So maybe that means that you do start with a program, okay? I always feel better when I'm moving my body. For me, nutrition is always my biggest struggle. I share that pretty authentically with you guys. But when I'm showing up to a program every single day, even if it's not 100%, even if it's not complete, it's that little feeling of I prioritized myself. I chose my journey. I decided to do the thing even when I was really tired or it was really inconvenient. I chose that. For me, that seems to give me the biggest boost and the biggest momentum. So pick a program, okay? It's not a tattoo. It's not marriage. You can pick a program, try it for a week, and if you really don't like it, you don't like the vibe of it, you don't like the pace of it, you don't like the trainer, then you put that back on the shelf and you try something different. That is the beauty of Beachbody On Demand, is there's literally something for everyone in every season. And there's been a lot of programs that I've tried and I've been like, nope, don't like it. If you hate it, it's not for you right now. And that doesn't mean there's anything wrong. It just means that it is not what you need. And we need to do more of what we need and what will serve us on a heart and mindset level than just powering through and finishing the program. And there's a couple of you that are in that place where you're like almost towards the end, or you're halfway through or 3/4 of the way through, but you freaking hate it. And you're grinding your teeth and you're dreading it, and it's creating all this resistance. Our thoughts, our energy really matters. And so if what you're doing is not feeling good, and I'm not talking about taking a nap, getting your toes painted, and it's not that kind of good. You know what I'm talking about. When you're in flow, when you're doing a program that feels really good and you feel excited, and maybe you are modifying, and maybe it's not perfect, and maybe you have missed a couple of days, but it still feels good. If you don't know what that feels like, you need to keep shopping around for more different programs to find your secret sauce, okay? There's literally something for everyone. So don't be afraid to like begin and try something and be like, this isn't quite for me, and then put it back on the shelf. I'm guaranteeing you, if you were like me, there will be programs that you'll try and you're like, nope, not right now. And then you come back to that in a different season, in a different year, and you're like, this is exactly what I need. This is like church in my living room. He's speaking directly to me, or this is exactly what I need to inspire me to show up. And that's what I want for you. I don't want this to be some grinding your teeth, I hate this, creating all this resistance and all these reasons why it's not for me and it's too hard and I don't have the energy. You can collect proof of that all day long. But will that serve you? Will that motivate you to continue to show up? No, it will not. So let's keep experimenting. Let's try the things that will serve you and that will inspire you and will make you feel proud, even if it is 5 or 10 minutes, you guys. You choosing to show up for 5 or 10 minutes is so much bigger and so much better than choosing to show up for 0 minutes. Because if you show up for 0 minutes, I'm guaranteeing you that there's mental chatter in here. There's time and energy and thoughts wasted by the should-haves and the could-haves and would and blah, blah, blah. All those things that don't serve you, that don't propel you towards your next level version of yourself, okay? So the start stops us, and I'm asking you to just freaking start. You don't need to have it all figured out. You start with 21 Day Fix. You start with 645. You start with Let's Get Up. You start with UV2. You start with MBF. You start with freaking, Transform 20 is kind of, don't start there. That's kind of a challenging one. But literally, if you have been stuck, if your brain has been on repeat, this is the cool thing. You can be the unsticker. You can decide today, like nothing else is different. Nothing else is different other than you're choosing to cultivate your belief and choosing to just show up and do the thing. That's it. It's a choice. It's a decision. It's hygiene. When you stop looking at it as this, it has to be a number. I need to look a certain way. It needs to be a certain size. When instead you shift your focus from all that data to who do you want to be? What's the identity you want to go through this month with? Do you want to show up as someone who is resilient and choosing to prioritize your self-care and your health? Like, you get to choose that. You get to be the driver of your bus. You get to take the actions that move you closer to that. And it's okay if it's imperfect, and it's okay if it starts stop, and it's okay if there's a little bit of, trial and error. That's part of this journey that we're all on, okay? It's never freaking linear, but it's yours. So freaking own it. Okay, so my post was that I wrapped up my 56th millionth program today, and I wanted to remind you it's not about how fast you go. It is about your imperfect journey and reminding yourself that sometimes the start is what stops us. This was me when I began. Oh my gosh, so true. I was already several months into my journey, and I knew I wasn't where I wanted to be, but I knew if I stopped, I would be right back where I was. So I'm going to remind you, and I'm reminding myself, that we all start somewhere. The hardest part is making the decision to begin. There's a lot writing on it. It could be scary. It can be overwhelming. What if you fail? What if it's too hard? What if I never started? What if I never started? What if I never started and didn't just keep going? This group wouldn't be here. Half of you'd be working on a journey at some point, but think about that. Think about the compound effect of that. Think about how you might think, oh, I'm just here because such and such, or it's great for Sarah. She's motivated. She's inspired. No, it's freaking decision, and it compounds and it dominoes, and we impact each other's lives. And there's been so many other people's lives that have been impacted by me making a decision, not just about me trying to get my freaking body back. Okay? All right, back to my post. What if I'd never started? What if I had never had that moment where I was just done? Who would I be? Who would I be? Where would my marriage be? What health issues would I be facing? If you've been stuck, here's the cool thing. You have the power to change, and it doesn't need to be all or nothing. It just needs to be one decision at a time. It won't be easy, but it will be worth it because you're worth it. You are worth it, and I'm worth it, and that's why I keep showing up and I keep doing programs, and sometimes I finish them, and sometimes I don't. Sometimes I tell you, I hated this. It wasn't for me. I didn't want to do it, and so I stop because there's enough things in life that can be struggling and hard. Me saying that is not your permission slip to say, this is hard, this is uncomfortable, so I'm not going to do it. There's a difference between being uncomfortable with something new and doing something that it's not in alignment with who you are. It doesn't feel good, it doesn't bring you joy. There will be parts of this journey that don't feel good and they don't bring you joy, but your discipline and your promise to yourself is worth keeping and holding and prioritizing, even if it's 5 minutes a day. So on this Monday, that is technically Labor Day, that's a holiday, and there will be things happening, probably. I don't know everything happening, but maybe you do, maybe you have plans. Remind yourself of that. You get to write your story. You get to reinvent yourself. No one is judging you. You're the only one judging you. So if you're in this place of self-judgment and in this place where you're castigating yourself and I just need to get my shit together and I just need to begin, you just need to trust the process. You just need to make a promise and then hold space for it every single day, even if it's 5 minutes. Will that change your whole life? It's not going to change your body overnight, no. But if it builds your belief and it creates that compound effect where you do domino and you start to feel better and you start to feel more proud and then your decisions start to reflect that. It's what I talked about last week. Instead of coming up with all these data and metrics and this timeline and this calendar it needs to follow, instead you choose what is the identity I want to show up with this month? Who do I want to be? How would she behave? What decisions would she make? You don't have to change everything, but when you start to look through things, when you start to look through that filter, I have found that it's the biggest game changer. So today, on this Monday, hi Charlotte. On this Monday, you get to choose to begin again. You get to choose to realign. You get to choose to reassess. You get to choose to restart if you need to. And when I say restart, I'm not talking about going back to day one. I'm talking about wiping your slate clean and showing up differently today. What do you need to tweak in your journey? It's never all or nothing. Don't start telling yourself, oh, I need to do this, I need to do that. You're going to overwhelm the shit out of yourself and you're going to stop yourself before you begin. What can you do today? How can you get momentum? How can you show up for yourself? Because nobody else is going to show up for you. That's just that's the cold, hard truth of this life. People aren't necessarily going to show up for you, but you get to be your own superhero. You get to decide who you're going to be as the star role player in your entire freaking life. You get to design that. You get to become her. You already are her. So take the freaking action you need to today to become her tomorrow. All right? All right. I'll be in my inbox later today, so if you need anything, let me know. Otherwise, I hope you show up. I hope you move your body. I hope you collect all your proof of all your wins. Make a promise to yourself. It doesn't have to be all or nothing. It doesn't have to be the nutrition and the mindset and the movement. It can just be one thing. And then you nail that. You get better at it. It becomes more of an ingrained habit. And then you layer something else in the following week or the following month. This isn't a race, okay? This is your journey, imperfectly perfect as it is. And you're exactly where you need to be today to realign. So I hope you realign alongside me. If you need anything, let me know. Otherwise, tell us how you win today and just do the next right thing.